Well, so far they've not been able to expose Duron Carter on the corner. With more on the new corner for the Roughriders. Here, Sarah.
Well, Chris Jones said that this was the best available option that the Riders had right now. He complimented Carter's obvious athletic ability as well as his instincts, saying that he's got some of the best instincts going. So he feels that he would be a good fit out there. But he said that his advice to Carter was try to conserve your energy because they're expecting to use him on both sides of the ball. It's not as if he's going to be playing just a little bit of football. He said that his advice for him also was that he's going to do everything he could to get Carter as involved as possible. He says, I need to do whatever I need to do to win the game. I don't care how many plays Carter ends up having to play.
I love the advice Dave Dickinson gave his team. Don't try to get in a verbal match with him because he can out-talk the best of them. Slant pattern caught. Good catch there. And Kamar Jordan with a first down into Rough Rider territory at the Saskatchewan 51.
His quick throw, quick timing throw to Kamar Jordan. Second game for him in the lineup. Coming back off that injured list. Yeah, you know, Dave Dickinson is not going to change his offense just to go after Duron Carter here tonight. He's not going to do that, but you've got to believe he's got some plays lined up to see and test Carter. We've seen one deep ball.
This Calgary offense not operating with Marquay McDaniel as Messam takes it straight ahead down to the 46 for about 4. So the senior guy in the receiving corps not available tonight.
Question I have is regarding number 33 when it comes to Duron Carter, because when you're in the short side corner, you can run those swing routes to the running back and get Jerome Messam at 260 pounds out there on the edge where Carter's got to come up and try to tackle him. And will Duron Carter be committed to get his nose dirty and go make tackles? They haven't tested him yet in that regard, but we'll see.
2nd and 6. Mitchell. Pitch is made after a bobble in front of Carter, who makes the tackle, but it should be enough for a first down for the Stampeders as Daniels hung on.
Boy, I agree with the panel, though, when they say it really is remarkable that the guy is that athletically talented, gifted, that the coaching staff has all the confidence in the world to put him on, not just on defense, not the wide side corner where it's harder to get the ball out there, but on the hot corner on the short side of the field.
First and 10, and they'll swing it out. It's made by Kamar Jordan, and Geedy stepped up. There's Javon Johnson to finish off Kamar Jordan, short gain. Last guy I remember who not necessarily did it in the same game, but was terrific as a corner and a receiver was Matty Dunigan's old buddy, Alfred Jackson.
And Steve Daniel digging deep into the history books, finding the stats, as you mentioned, on Garney Henley. I didn't realize that Leon Bright played both ways for the BC Lions as well. Larry Highball.
For the old-timers, Dave Ramey. And in Saskatchewan, Dale West. Flag down, this play does get off.
This first quarter, these two teams exchanging
procedure.
punts.
Calgary, number 50, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Spencer Wilson just back in after spending time on the 6th game with a thumb injury. Well, there's been a few. Folks in Calgary remember the great Jerry Keeling, who was a quarterback and a safety as well. Boy, with Larry Highbaw's speed, you'd love to get him out as a receiver as well. Garney Henley was an MOP playing both ways. So 2nd and 12 after the penalty. Mitchell has time, misses an open target. Jordan open in the middle, although he gestures at his own number as if he
ran the wrong route.
He ran the wrong route.
Yeah, I did. You could tell. And you could tell in two ways. One, Bo Levi Mitchell, after throwing this ball, is completely shocked that his receiver didn't continue with his route and go right where he was supposed to be. He threw him right into the middle, and DeVaris Daniels immediately, that was me. Or excuse me, Kamar Jordan. 88, not 89.
Slight breeze here, not Enough for Dave Dickinson to go for a 49-yard field goal. They'll look for the pin instead, and it just misses the pylon and goes out for a single point. Rob Maver with a 46-yard rouge when he leads the league in hitting under the 10. Inside the 10 was 7, and an early change at quarterback. And not the first time this has happened against Calgary, as Brandon Bridge comes in early. 6 for 7 in the last game against the Stampeders for 91 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, and when he's come in these situations, especially against Calgary in this defense, Chris Jones has said it's not that Kevin Glenn is necessarily the issue or playing poorly. It's that the pressure is getting to him, and they're going to put the more athletic Brandon Bridge in as changeup to try and avoid that pressure from the Calgary defense.
Kevin Glenn was 1 for 3 to start and sacked a couple of times. Fake to Marshall, a sidearm to the wide side of the field, caught by McCurry Grant, and he'll get extra yards as he drags Jamar Wall, who couldn't make the Jersey tackle.
This is what we're talking about. Jagarrett Davis is coming off the edge, and watch, he's one-on-one with Bridge. If that's Kevin Glenn, Jagarrett Davis goes right through and makes the sack because Glenn's not as mobile. But because of the running ability, the running threat from Bridge, Jagarrett Davis gears down and is ready to sort of play him either direction. That gives him time to throw the football.
23 for Grant, who's closing in on his first ever 1,000-yard season, up to 9:39, 1st and 10. Here comes Heat. Bridge gets it away. Cameron Marshall on the screen. Jagarrett Davis in pursuit and forces him out at the Rough Rider bench. Into Calgary territory. Let's see where they mark him out. Looks like around the 49, and one of the officials got caught up in all that traffic.
Interesting note on this game with Cameron Marshall that when he was in the lineup, the team was averaging 32 points a game.
Ciante Evans also injured. And while the official gets up, Evans, who's had a terrific year on the corner, remains down.
Well, it's a great secondary top to bottom here. Let's take a look at what happened. Jagarrett Davis on Marshall. There's a pushing from Evans, who runs into the official. Looks like both the official and Ciante Evans are going to be okay.
Line judge Rob Hill's okay. Evans makes his way to the sidelines. Just a 2-yard pickup as they mark the ball at the 50. And it will be 2nd and 8. Patrick Lovels comes into the boundary corner. Tommy Campbell moves across into Evans' spot. Three receivers wide side of the field on 2nd and 8. Bridge directed traffic, and he beats the first man on a roll underneath, and he can't make the connection with Rob Bagg. So Calgary continues to get pressure on the Rough Rider quarterbacks.
Not surprised to see the change with the way this game started and the pressure that Calgary was putting on Kevin Glenn. And they've shut down Saskatchewan in 2 games, averaging just 8.5 points per game, just 3 yards rushing. And look at the quarterback sack totals coming into this game tonight. 2 more tonight from Devon Claybrook's group, and looks like it's going to be Brandon Bridge's game.
Now it's Bartel looking to pin Calgary deep. Adeleke standing at his 10. High punt, fielded around the 5. And Adeleke brings it back to close to the 15-yard line. Aguavin in on the tackle. A flag came down on the play after a 45-yard punt.
You know, this first quarter, both teams exchanging punts, but Calgary was chipping away at field position and getting closer and closer to starting their drives around the midfield stripe. But for one play, when Chris Jones changed quarterbacks, Brandon Bridge comes in, and that one throw to Bakari Grant gets all that field position back, and Calgary right back in their own end again.
Actually, no flag on the play, so that will be first down and at around the 14 of Calgary. Got a couple of first downs the last time they started deep. Handing it off again to Messam. Eddie Steele's back in there. Moncrief in support on the tackle after a Messam gain of 2. So 2nd and 8 on what should be the final play of the first quarter. Mitchell steps up, throwing, and at the 30 incomplete. Breskus, it says he's got it. They're ruling incomplete. And that was the final play of the quarter. Breskusen insisting he made the catch. Let's take a look. Did he? It looked like he had it. Did Butler knock it loose? Ruled incomplete.
We're pregnant.
Excuse me?
I'm 8 weeks pregnant.
Go get him, coach.
You will be good to your brother.
Sure you don't want to go to this gala tonight?
Can I come?
I really think she's ready to
It's
go.
my opportunity to connect with her.
I understand you've already refilled the prescription one more time than you should have. Can't help a guy when he's in pain?
Jack, or your dad, he's dying. Hi, I'm Jack's wife.
New This Is Us, Tuesday, 9/10 Mountain on CTV.
What makes a Cabot truck work? Tires and wheels, steps, emergency lighting, toolboxes, headache rack and rails. Make your truck work. There's a Cabot near you where we install everything we sell. Cabot.
40 Creek's story didn't begin with a commercial. It began in a humbler place, where it built its reputation by word of mouth, from mouths that had tasted the complex Canadian whiskey. 40 Creek, from a good place.
We are a league as diverse as a country. A league of Jacksons and Kwongs, Elimimians and Messams, Moscas, Custuses, Sinopolis, Shigers, and Burrises. A league of Reeds, Reiches, O'Sheas, and Owusu-Ansas. A league where what makes each of us different makes all of us stronger.
The last game was tight, low scoring, and the numbers reflect the same trend here early tonight.
Only difference, I guess, rushing yards for Calgary and those sacks at the bottom. 2 sacks again now. 12 on with these two teams. But I'm looking at Duron Carter, Chris, and they haven't really tested him the way I thought they might. And we may see it in this second quarter, getting Jerome Messam on those swing passes to see if Duron Carter will come up and make some tackles.
Are they trying to ease him into getting comfortable, or do you think it's advantage Carter that he's already comfortable in that situation?
Yeah, you know, I think he's very comfortable when it comes to running with receivers, and he has practice there, so he understands the assignments out there. I want to know if I think a lot of people are wondering if he's comfortable tackling running backs coming out of the backfield, things like that.
We thought Breskusen made the catch, but not enough for Dave Dickinson to challenge, so they'll punt it away. Good field position here for Saskatchewan. Christian Jones enhancing that with another big return, and he is gone. Christian Jones, touchdown! Second punt return score of the season for Christian Jones. He brings it back 60 yards for the major.
Scenario where Calgary also had an edge in the previous 2 games with Roy Finch, who's not in the lineup tonight for Calgary, but Christian Jones has been the return man for Saskatchewan, and he just picks his way. is patient on this return, just finding the holes, picking his way through that cover team.
So Krapina on to add the convert. Splits it, and it's 7-1 Saskatchewan. Well, he's been explosive. Christian Jones, as mentioned, an average coming in of 16.5, a little dust up after the convert. Nothing further on that.
A good no call by the official here, and also Glenn Love not making this a clip right here. Coming down and blocking from the other side. Now, if you hit him on the side, he's okay. That's a good block. Christian Jones plays off that, and away he goes.
Saw that block from 31, and it was the key one on Norman right there to open things up.
From the side, good no call by the official, and an excellent decision by Glenn Love.
You know you want to do it. You came like that. You came to the game to do it.
The first punt return touchdown was in Ottawa, and it triggered the big comeback. Say he's fired up.
He's having some fun.
Gary Williams on the return. And here's Williams getting just out beyond the 25-yard line. In the last 6 meetings between Calgary and Saskatchewan, the Roughriders have led for only 12 minutes and 40 seconds. Clock running with them in the lead right now as Bo Levi Mitchell takes the field.
Pedestrian numbers so far, but it's been that kind of season for Bo Levi Mitchell, and not putting up big numbers necessarily like we're accustomed to seeing, but winning.
You mentioned even the 7-0 against the Roughriders. Only 10 touchdown passes, 6 interceptions. If that was the only part of the scoring line, you wouldn't expect 7-0. Mess him off the left side. There you go. Stepped up to make the tackle on the run. Duron Carter.
And it was on Jerome Messam, and this is what you got to see. Is he going to be committed to do this? Another corner blitz, short side corner blitz. So basically taking the responsibility of reading and reacting away from Carter, just saying go after the quarterback. And if he doesn't have it, tackle whatever's back there. It happened to be Jerome Messam, and he cut him down.
Terrific tackle on a 254-pound running back for 2nd and 10. Mitchell to throw, steps up. Anybody home? He'll dump it down. Incomplete, intended for Messam, and he gets cranked on the play by Preston Butler, who got challenged by Chris Jones after Jones said he was coming off his worst game of the year.
Let's take a look as this pocket starts to collapse. Just 3-man pressure on Mitchell, and he's rushing a little bit. Had more time than I think he realized.
3 2-and-outs early for Calgary's offense. And once again, Maver punting to Christian Jones. Nice punt. Backs him up to the 32, a 52-yard punt. Jones nearly got loose, but gets tossed down by Charlie Power, the University of Saskatchewan product, who chucks up his 16th special teams tackle without a helmet. Christian Jones with a flip into the end zone that's put the Roughriders on top first half.
This is not a cloud. This is a tomato tracked from farm to table on a blockchain, helping keep shoppers safe. This is a financial transaction secure from hacks and threats others can't see. This is a skyscraper whose elevators use IoT data and AI to help thousands get to work safely and efficiently. This is not the cloud you know. This is the IBM Cloud. The IBM Cloud is the cloud for enterprise. Yours.
What do newcomers bring to Canada? Beauty. Laughter. Pride. And, in J.W. Sobey's case, grocery stores. For 150 years, newcomer families have brought a lot to Canada. The Sobey family is humbled to have been one of them.
This isn't the system for farmers who need perfect conditions. This is the system for Mother Nature's challenges, for wet and for weedy. Because this is real life in the West, and you can't sit around and wait for conditions to improve. The way we see it, you have two options. You can wait to work, or you can get to work. Our vote is option 2. Genuity Roundup Ready Canola. Real life ready.
Short road to the Grey Cup continues tomorrow. A couple of big games, and in CFL Pink, it's the Bombers against the Argos at 4 o'clock Eastern. We'll be on the West Coast for the nightcap of the doubleheader. Brandon Zylstrom, another big week he had. Jeremiah Johnson, after 1,000 yards rushing. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the nightcap. Lions need a Calgary win and need to win out to maintain their playoff hopes. Richardson with his first carry of the game, and Jagarrett Davis shuts that down.
Better outing for Trent Richardson last week against Ottawa than in his first game. Just 20 yards rushing in his first game, and he's now up to 80 and a 4.2-yard average. Still not a huge sample size to take a look at and evaluate, but rotating in here.
3 for Richardson, 2nd and 7. 5 receivers out. Bridge pumps once, now throws it, makes the connection. There's Chad Owens with his first catch of the year. And that feels pretty good when you've waited as long as he has. You know, his numbers last year were good. 12 games is all he played. 58 catches, 808 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, MOP in 2012, 4-time CFL All-Star, competitive as it comes. I mean, this guy trains, he's a maniac in the weight room.
Here's Richardson getting to the second level.
I mean, Chad Owens is pumped, as he said, to be back out here and be back in that huddle and competing again. I mean, and I'm excited to watch him play. I mean, you can go back to that 2012 season, just a monster year in Toronto. Hamilton, spectacular, can do it all, too.
Nope, another grab here, and he almost got away. Brandon Smith hanging on, and with that catch, Chad Owens has got over 6,000 yards receiving, and he's right into the flow of it now, isn't he?
He certainly is. I think, if anything, someone's going to have to pull him back from the ledge here a little bit, because he got up there pretty pumped up. I mean, he's also got to relax a little bit and just settle in, but a couple of plays back-to-back for Chad Owens.
Boy, the timing couldn't be better with Damon Roosevelt out and now Carter on the other side of the ball. We might see a lot of footballs here today. A couple of catches to get him into the red zone, and here's Richardson for the one cut outside. The cut inside is stopped by the middle linebacker, Alex Singleton, 2nd in the league in tackles.
Yeah, behind Solomon Elamimian, who we'll see tomorrow night. 108 tackles coming in. He's in the middle of your screen at middle linebacker and just scraping to the football. Bouncing back into that hole. Trent Richardson, a little help from Charleston Hughes, but that's another tackle added to the list.
First tackle of the 90s within 7 of the Stampeders. Single season record held by George White. Bridge under duress. They're going to throw that away as he was in full back pedal. Derek Wiggin leading the charge with 3 Stampeders applying pressure.
See a good example of the athleticism from Brandon Bridge there. First in the retreat, he's buying himself some time to see if a receiver will open up, but then when he did get into trouble, had the arm strength to gun it out of bounds. course, you have to get it across the line of scrimmage out of bounds, or it's intentional ground.
From 26 yards out, here's Pepina. The 9-point Saskatchewan lead on his 17th straight field goal. Chad Owens with a couple of catches to help set it up. Now the Stampeders have to get their offense going. The muscle of the offense against Saskatchewan this year has been the big man, Hero Messam.
Get a Rogue with up to $5,000 standard rate finance cash, or finance from 0% for up to 60 months.
With the help of fans like you, Purolator and the CFL have delivered millions of pounds of food to those less fortunate. Yet, there's a need for so much more. Because this is how much food it takes to feed the hungry in Canada. For just one day. Visit PurelatorTackleHunger.com to learn more. Together, tackling hunger is a promise we can all deliver.
This isn't the system for farmers who need perfect conditions. This is the system for Mother Nature's challenges, for wet and for weedy. Because this is real life in the West, and you can't sit around and wait for conditions to improve. The way we see it, you have two options. You can wait to work, or you can get to work. Our vote is option 2. Genuity Roundup Ready Canola. Real life ready.
Join us at the half of the GMC Professional Grade Playbook tonight. Henry Burris on how receivers make catching look so easy. That guy makes it look easy, so does Duron Carter, the one-hander. It looked easy.
The year of the catch. I mean, that could be a documentary on S.J. Green, the way he started the season as well. But yeah, big touchdown catch and a spectacular one from Kamar Jordan in his first game back last week versus Hamilton.
Deep kickoff to Terry Williams starting at the 9. Williams brought down at the 25. Jeff Knox on the special teams tackle.
Ended up having 5 catches for 58 yards in his first game, coming off the injured list, but this was a big one. He got on the run. Bo Levi Mitchell throws it up, and Jordan wins the battle.
After missing 8 games with an injury. So Jordan's second game back, and early in this game, Markin Michelle out of the lineup. Markway McDaniel is down tonight. So they may have to lean on 88 and 89. Tavares